Hello, good day, my SM viewers. This is Satellite Media. Mr. Rafubechi, let's all look at the situation of the country. Nigeria seems to be on auto run because from what we are seeing, the president is away in United Kingdom, though he have moved to France. And initially, presidency made us to understand that he's going on 2 weeks leave. And the vice president himself have gone to Sweden to hold bilateral talk on behalf of the Nigerian government. And nobody seems to be in the saddle piloting the affairs of the country. Though the presidency through Onaluga have come out to clarify that the presidency is, the government is being going ahead and that there is no vacuum in governance. Let me get your reaction.
My reaction is the missing. Anyway, the missings, because there are two. That English is right. Missings are still in action. The government of Nigeria is not deactivated. They are still active because they left behind the cabals headed by Bajabia Miller, followed by Bayo Nonoga and the rest of the, Asu Rock, let me say, subordinates. So they are working now. No, the seat is not vacant. At least you are hearing from the news what is going on. And the government, functionaries, they are all active doing their work, except that insecurity is what is getting high in Zamfara, Katsina, in the mid-north, in the corner, everywhere in the country, as usual. But if you ask me about insensitivity of Tinubu and the Shettima, I will tell you that it is still as it is before, as it was before. Because what was going on when they were here is still what is going on presently when they are not here. So it doesn't matter that Tinubu is away for 2 weeks. It's going to expire a few days now. He's a sick leave or whatever he tagged it. It doesn't matter because there's nothing different about it. Tinubu is not here. I'm still feeling the way I feel. The same price I was buying when they are here is still the same prices we are still buying when they are not here. I don't see anything missing in action here. The only thing is that Nigerian military, they are not what they were used to be in the past. No president, no vice president could ever leave this country in the 80s, leaving the seats of authority vacant. No, it won't happen like that. If they tried it in those days, they will hear martial music. They will begin. It is martial music, military music that will wake everybody up the next day. Because the kind of military, the classes, crops of soldiers, military we had in those days are quite different from this artisan or bipartisan, what do you call it, political military that we have presently in Nigeria, that are into partisan. Yeah, they're into politics. That's why they cannot wake up and go there and blow Asu Rock up. I'm sorry that this one might affect some people. When a president happened to be away 2 weeks in Nigeria in the past, it will never come back to that seat.
Now, what do you make of the leadership crisis involving the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, where they are trying to pitch Akpabio? Some people have said that Akpabio is the worst Senate president in Nigeria. Of course, people see him as a stooge of the executive.
Yes, because he's a rubber stamp to the executive. Whatever the executive says, Akpabio will stamp it, sign it, consign it, and read it out to the public hearing that he has no option than to dance to the costumes of the Department of Executive. And you can see when Vice and the President, they are not around this time around, Akpabio is Nigerian President and is behaving like one. A stooge, because they must have come up with many policies. Didn't you see when Buhari was away, Ochibanjo was doing what? Doing well. The whole Nigerians, we applauded Ochibanjo because Buhari wasn't around. And today now, these two headmaster and vice headmaster, they are not around, and the house, they come up with some policies so that Nigerians could at least breathe an air of peace, an air of economic, let me say, relief. But nothing is going on there in the upper house of legislative. That's why they just gang up and say, this one, you could not even represent Tinubu well. Let us just push you out. I suggest this could have been, it's supposed to be the problem. Because yesterday, we saw the DSS officers all over the upper house, the whole premises. They condoned the whole place. They were there. I don't know what else. So something actually must have transpired. Akpabio is not doing the right thing. Akpabio isn't supposed to be a Nigerian Senate president. I'm telling you, from his utterances to his body languages, you can tell whom Akpabio is. Akpabio is telling us to feed like animal. Anywhere we see food, we should go and eat.
Meaning, we understand the way he spoke during that protest.
It's not being sensitive. During the protest, he said they will all be enjoying as government, public office holders, the ones elected, the one elected, the one appointed. They are all working for federal government. They should be the one enjoying while we are protesting, dying in hunger. We should go and protest from River Niger into and end up in Atlantic Ocean. Is that supposed to be? Are you trying to tell me that those utterances are supposed to come from a whole Senate president, number 3rd citizen of a country, of a contraption, not a country? Okay, let me tell you, we are not getting it right now that Kachima and Tinubu is not here. They lack sensitivity. They are insensitive, both president and vice president. Then the person in charge himself, let me tell you, if you allow a buffalo from water buffalo, to go there and preside over that upper legislative chamber, I love it. I will actually know that this one is an animal. But Akpabio is a human being, behaving like animal, talking, responding like a nobody, someone that did not see 4 walls of university, let alone politics. I don't know what to understand. He must behave like a politician. When these people are not around, prove to Nigerian people that you are a good man, that you can do better.
Okay, now, sorry, let us look at the decision of about 16 states, including Kogi, to challenge the legality of EFCC. We understand that the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, is having a running battle with EFCC. Yes. But currently, we have seen a situation where 16 states, through their respective attorney generals, have approached Supreme Court to decide whether EFCC was legally constituted. Remember that this was done under Obasanjo, and the contention is that when EFCC was constituted, it did not go back to get concurrent or state houses of assembly, because we understand that for anything to become law in Nigeria, after passing it in the National Assembly, you need to tell majority of the state houses of assembly to give it concurrent to become a law before it come back to the president for presidential assent. In this case, we are talking about 24 states backing it, and that was not done, and they are not challenging it. Olusegun have come out to write to both chambers of the National Assembly, reminding them that EFCC is an illegal body. Do you think Yahaya Bello want to kill EFCC because of his case?
Yes, Yahaya Bello want to kill EFCC because he is a thief. Let us not say because of his case. He stole over 80 billion naira and they absconded into UAE. And being a young man and an educated man, as well, he wanted to shout down on EFCC. Actually, Mr. Matu, he succeeded. You can see he did not go through state channel of the lawmaking body. It only went on the federal. That's the EFCC during Obasanjo regime. They should have debated its legitimacy or legality at the state chapters of lawmakers before imposing EFCC on us to take care of our financial crimes in Nigeria. If you ask me, I will tell you what I said before when I was having a session with Mr. Nee is still something I'm saying now. We should not take that as an excuse to still misuse, handle our public wealth, because EFCC is not well constituted. So we shouldn't take that as an excuse. But by the law, the way of legality, I'm telling you, is an illegitimate body. It's not part of our constitution. Nationally, EFCC is for the executive there, because Obasanjo was the one that brought it. Federal government. It's not supposed to be expanded up to the states. That's why it's not standing, to take care of most prevailing issues in Nigeria. Some persons that know law can challenge it and prevail on it. Yahaya Bello is prevailing. He's a young man now, a man, fully able-bodied man.
The Supreme Court will be addressing it this October. But the point is, at what point do we differentiate legality and the right? Because you cannot say because Yahaya Bello is being tried and the EFCC is illegally constituted that they should not challenge the illegality.
No. They can now. They can. That's why I'm saying that couldn't be an excuse it shouldn't be an excuse that it is not accepted or recognized up to state level only because federal government is the one that initiated it. Then let me go and steal money. Let me go and thief, you know, anything that has been handed over to me. I should not use it, you know, judiciously, like, constituency projects. Of course, you know how they have been making Nigeria dry. Every contract that go to each constituency all over the country, they just beckon on that, go to altar, give testimony. My husband just received a contract yesterday. You people should thank God for me. You remember, you forget that contract, if you do it, it is good for your children, it's good for you. Failure to do it, you are depriving yourself social amenities, basic ones. After all this, my brother, let me tell you, we are still saying the right thing. It is not in the constitution. The states are turning their back on it. It's because the governors are thieves.
Well, let me ask you this last question,
because
Mr.
the commissioners are thieves. It's because the ministers are thieves. It's because most of them, they stole the public fund. Now they are trying to, you know, tell us that EFCC is not recognized in the states. It's only federal. But it is still accepted. It is generally accepted by Nigeria. It is our crime, financial crime fighting body.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yabelo should be arrested. If FCC doesn't have the right, the court has the right to arrest Yabelo over what? Theft of billions upon billions of naira. This is a governor that has not paid salary for 8 years.
Lastly, Mr. Arafumbechi.
Yes.
Some have argued that ESC never fought crime, that what they do is selective prosecution at times when it has to do with opposition personalities. That once you are in the right party, or rather the ruling party, they don't come against you. Like what came from a former chairman of APC, that come to APC and your sins will be forgiven.
Your answer is answered already. Do you know why? You hit the nail on the head. It was the office of the president that initiated the FCC. Any president that comes and goes in Nigeria, anybody that wants presidential election, is the father of EFCC. Because they are the owner of EFCC. And they will use the FCC to hunt all their political adversaries, opponents, enemies. See, Obasanjo hunt people, hunt them, until he hunted who? Ojuzo says, remember, Oga, I gave you over 100 million naira when naira had value in 1999 to run for presidency. You have not paid me. Oga, remember that too? That's why that case was stretched and be stretching until Jonathan came and went, Yaradua came and went. During Buhari regime, they brought it up again, where they swept it under the carpet and wanted to hang Ojuzokala. Actually, they succeeded on hanging him. Yes, because Mr. President is the owner of the EFCC. Whatever president said is what the EFCC will do. That's why they are selective on hunting criminals, people that actually feasted, dipped their hand into federal purses. See, let me tell you, Mr. President, as a matter of fact, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the owner of EFCC. That's why you see EFCC, fizzling out, misbehaving, at least dancing to the costumes of the office of the presidency. Because if you are his enemy, he's going to use the EFCC and hunt you down. And if you know the law, you can challenge the EFCC that is not constituted, is not in our constitution. I don't know what you understand. So what is good for the gays is actually good for the gander. When they meet somebody that will match them one-on-one, they will actually tell you that EFCC is not generally accepted in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Arafumbechi. This is Satellite Media and I'm Mr. Martin. Thank you very much.